Hey guys, so I gotta keep switching my backgrounds up depending on wherever the baby's sleeping right now. But speaking on the class as a whole, at the beginning, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of horrified by how many videos we had to make for an English class, especially since I'm the history major that's just kind of hanging out here. It felt like a lot, and not just a lot of work, but a lot of talking about books on camera repeatedly. And but somewhere along the way, that kind of started to change. I still feel nervous about it, but what was overwhelming kind of turned into something I didn't expect to enjoy, and more importantly, something that I learned from. I still need a paper script, but because I can't just wing it yet. But one of the biggest skills I think I picked up on in this class was learn how to focus on a small part of something and be able to talk about it. Instead of approaching a book, and honestly most assignments that I have, trying to cover everything all at once, like plot and themes and character and meaning, making these videos forced me to slow down and zoom in. Instead of explaining an entire book, I had to ask, what's the one idea here that really matters? And that really made my thinking clearer and my responses more intentional. It made it easier to connect what I was reading to real life, instead of just summarizing, how do I connect this to not only my other classes, but my real life. And I think my major takeaway is the question why. Why are we picking up certain books over others? Why are young adults drawn to certain specific stories? Why do specific characters or situations feel more relatable than others? And that question kept coming up again and again, and really helped me come up with my main ideas for a lot of the video content that I've ended up creating for this class. And it kind of changed the way I think about reading. Instead of judging books as good or bad or serious or not serious, I started thinking about what they're actually doing for the reader. Why does someone choose fantasy or over nonfiction? Why does someone connect to romance more than anything else? And turns out these choices are just random. They reflect something about the emotion and the identity and the experience. And I think in this class, at some point, I turned that question on myself. Why do I read what I read? You guys know that, for me, it's romance. That's the genre I just keep going back to. And I don't think I ever really questioned that before. I just knew I liked it. But when I think about it more, there's a lot of reasons that I have that preference, because of connection and emotional payoff, familiarity, comfort. And sometimes it's okay that there's not really a deep reason. Sometimes the answer to why is just, I like the cover. And I appreciate that being a part of this class. It's okay to choose the book by its cover. That was an intentional cover. The pages feel that way for a reason. Not every reading choice has to be intellectual or justified. Sometimes interest is just enough. So, while I started being overwhelmed by all the videos, I think I'm leaving with not only a new skill, maybe. I've got 2 YouTube subscribers now, so thank you, classmates. But I have a different perspective. I've learned how to focus my thinking, how to talk through ideas, and how to ask why. About what I read, what people read, what especially young adults read, and why it matters. And it doesn't always just apply to books. I mean, I can apply this in my other classes. It really just applies to stories in general. That was a good line. I wrote a good line for the end, because at the end of the day, reading isn't just about what's on the page. It's about why it speaks to us in the first place.